Test. Okay. Recording, and I'll just hide this. All right. Let's get started again. Hello, everyone. So Git presentation. I guess I'll send over
Sure.
here and you can press it.
Okay.
So getting started with Git and GitHub by Evan Richards and Paul Pablos. They have.
Yes. Welcome.
So first off, I want to talk about what exactly version control is. So it's kind of in the name. It controls versions. What that means is you're able to share your code with other developers. It's very important because a lot of software now is open source. And with open source means you have to be able to collaborate across wide distances, across different languages, internet, whatever. So version control helps manage all these different versions of software and track how it evolves. You can maintain a history of changes, which is one of the most important parts. You want to be able to roll back changes, figure out where a change occurred, who made it. Another good thing is you want to be able to merge conflicting changes. So again, you're working in a very distributed environment. And even in workplace environments, you can be working with remote teams who might be on different time schedules, and you might not be able to be with them immediately. So you want to be able to make changes without worrying about what other changes are being made by other people. So Git also manages that as a version control system, and it can merge changes and let you see who made those changes. So version control has been around for a while, definitely since people started seeing the need for better collaboration. Uh, Before we had centralized repositories, CVS, centralized version system. So these had to run on a server, and you always had to be online. You always had to be connected to the server to send and receive changes. There was also a lot of proprietary software out there like Bitkeeper, Perforce. These are used by internal companies like Microsoft. The story of Git actually comes from the creator of Linux. So who's familiar with Linux, at least maybe heard of it, right? So the creator of Git, Linus Torvalds, when his project started blowing up and they were using Bitkeeper originally, there was a licensing issue with the code. And if you don't know, Linux is a free and open source project. So they would really rather use free and open source tools to collaborate. And Bitkeeper took away their free license and they were going to force them to pay. So Linus got fed up. He went and created Git in like a couple days, actually. It's kind of insane. And it just blew up from there. I think it became self-hosting, which means he used Git to make Git in like 7 days. And it just built up from there. And then the first three-way merge was in like a month or two after that. Like it just blew up.
That's very impressive.
Yeah, it's actually really impressive. So I'm going to go over the architecture of Git. Or did you want to go over it?
Oh, I can do it, sure.
Okay.
So there's a lot of stages in Git that we've talked about so far. So there's of course different branches, which kind of refers to different like sets of changes that have been made. So for example, if maybe you have a big project, let's say it's a video game, and maybe you have one team that's working on graphics, they might be working on a branch where they're gradually changing the graphics over time, but that's separate from someone who's maybe working on the game design or like the rendering engine. So that can all be done separately and then merged together when it's all done. So that's just the kind of way of organizing stuff. Uh, so typically you start in the Git process by, of course, first making your changes. So you would make a copy of all the code on your laptop, and then uh, you would start editing it. You would change whatever you want to change to make sure it works. Then you commit it, which is like you're saying that this change you made is something that you accept, like you tested it and it works. And usually you add a name to a little key phrase to describe what you did. So it's like feature, add button, or fix, rendering, and so on. Just something to describe what your change is. And then you can eventually merge those changes together down along the line so that they can be shared with the code that other people are working with. Yeah, do you want to describe the other half?
So what I want you to realize is that Git is organized into repositories. Repositories are organized into branches, and then each branch contains a number of commits or commits, depending on how you pronounce it. I kind of interchange them. I do that a lot. So each commit can be merged into another branch. So if you make a branch on your computer, like right here, you can eventually have someone or you yourself can pull those changes, merge them back into your main branch. So typically, software development or a piece of software might have a branch for the development, and they might have branches or tags for stable versions. Usually you'll have betas in another branch, alphas might go in another branch, and all this is part of the software lifecycle. So here's a simplified overview of the workflow. You can sometimes skip some of these steps, but we'll go over it. So if you want to contribute to an open source project, the first thing you want to do is get the repository. This is called pulling changes. So you want to make sure you have the most up-to-date version of the source code. You can then make changes, stage and commit them, which we'll go over what exactly that means and how to do that. You push your changes to your remote branch. Then you have to talk with other people to get your code looked at. We live in a world where we want to make sure other people are collaborating and we all agree on the changes. Your code gets reviewed, and in the end, you'll have your changes merged, and you can start again, pull the latest version and make another branch. So I'm going to talk about what GitHub is. So Git was made by Linus Torvalds. I don't remember the exact year. I want to say it's early 2000s. But GitHub is a repository host. So you can use Git on any number of servers. So who here has heard of GitHub? Has anyone heard of GitLab? That's another repository host. Anyone heard of Gitty, Forjo, Codeberg? These are all other Git platforms that let you host Git repositories. So it's common. GitHub is one of the biggest platforms. A lot of people tend to conflate Git and GitHub, but in internal teams, depending on how the company is structured, you might not be using GitHub. You'll be using an internal version managed, an internal Git host like GitLab.
Yeah, and a very important thing here is that GitHub is very widely used, and so it'll probably be something that you see in whatever sort of career you do someday. So definitely, this is a good skill to have.
So each commit has a message attached to it. This message usually describes the change you made. When it comes to changes, remember that you have an infinite number of commits available to you. So we tend to make our commits small and make incremental changes. You don't want to make one big commit because it's hard to review. So you want to keep one change to be one commit. And I don't mean one like piece of change. I mean like one feature, one bug fix, one moving files, right? So here, here's one message, move file. Here's another one, add button, that could be one comment. And another one can be a fix, crash when you save a file. These can all be good example comment messages. Keep them short and to the point. So we're going to go over how to install Git on your computer if you don't already have it. And yeah, okay. So who doesn't have Git on their computer, or who has like never used it before? Yeah. Okay. So I guess a lot of us already have Git. How many have GitHub accounts? Ooh, wow. So we have a lot of collaborators here. Okay. Wow. So who needs us to go over this? No? Okay. Cool. I guess, do you want to go over it?
What?
How to install Git if you don't already have it? Okay. So do you have a Windows computer? Okay, so you're gonna look at Everett's screen and Everett's gonna install Git.
Yeah. So I mean, I already have it installed, but
You can install it again.
can you see this from over there? The cable's a little finicky, so I don't think it's. Oh, please bump it and turns off, of course. Okay. There's a link here you can go to. Just git-scm.com/download/win for Windows. You can go there and it'll download it for you. That setup should be pretty easy. You might just have to run the installer.
Yeah, it gives you a bunch of options, but just change branch name to main and then probably don't use Vim. How many of us have VS Code? So we're also gonna install VS Code. Unless you have a preferred editor, I don't know.
Yeah, VS Code.
But VS Code is very good. So I want everyone to download VS Code. You can go to code.visualstudio.com. Let's make sure we have it installed. And then I'll go over how to connect Visual Studio with Git and how to use Git on the command line as well as in Visual Studio Code. So I actually need to download it because I don't usually use VS Code. It looks like it might take a bit.
Do you have a repository we're kind of cloning from or no?
Huh?
Do you have a repo that we're gonna clone from?
No, I'm gonna make one, and I'll show them how to make one too. Well, they won't be making one. But... So that, yeah. Huh? Ooh, no, but I'll talk about that. I didn't think about that. My that one's taking a bit.
Oh, you can have this one here. No, I was just, I set my laptop on there. Hard my back. No, you didn't.
So we're gonna do a demo, me and Everett. We're gonna go over making a Git repository, having someone else download it, pushing your changes, and using it with VS Code.
Do anything after we download?
No, as long as you have it open and it's like there, it's probably fine. We're gonna go over some stuff and then we'll have everyone collaborate together.
So yeah, if you can open to this thing, this thing next to here.
Yeah, just
VS
have
Code.
that.
Well, do you have VS Code open? Or downloading it, or does anyone need more time to get VS Code set up? Okay, copy.
Let's create React app.
We do the React.
Might as well. Right. We can have something running. I'll just make some changes and push it on there, and then they can clone it and add a file. Even if I don't get the actual thing working.
That's true. But to run React, you need to set up a lot of stuff.
I'm not gonna have them run React. I'm just gonna have them download it and then add a file. Unless they want to, they can figure that out. Big one, 594 megabytes.
Wow.
Yeah, sometimes you forget how large these things get.
Oh, we could do it with the source code for the ACM website.
True. I think I'd rather make like a fork or something. But I'll make another
You
project.
can make a fork to the ACM. You're in the
Yeah.
organization.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, and then we can add the things to this. That's actually a good idea. I'll do that.
I think it's ACM-SDSU.
Yeah, I have it here.
Yeah. So for our demo, we're going to be messing around with the source code of the ACM website. I don't know if any of you have taken a look at the website, but it actually is technically open source. So you can just, if you wanted to, you could go to, oh,
Want to go on the projector?
yeah, I didn't pull it up. Table's really, oh, never mind.
Yeah, there it is.
So it's all open source. You can find all the source files for our website if you wanted to. We're going to go through how to do that in just a second, but yeah. So if you're ever curious of how our website works, let's take a look.
All right, I have Visual Studio now, so make sure it's open. All right, so here's my general workflow, right? I'm gonna make a fork of the ACM website. This just means another remote copy of the website that I can edit myself without changing the actual website, because I don't want to mess with it right now. No, just look at my screen real quick. So I'm gonna go over this, and then I'm gonna have you clone mine.
Could have them do it too.
Yeah, I'm gonna eventually have them do that, but
Okay,
I'm gonna
sorry.
go over this first.
You lead the way.
So I'm gonna click here. I'll put on the here too, and I'm gonna call it ACM Collaborative. Oh, sorry. New. It's my new version of the website. When I create a fork, I now have a new copy of the repository. However, it's completely separate from the original one. And you see here it says forked from the original website. So I can make changes in here and I won't change the original website, but I can use the contribute button to make a request for my changes to be put in the original one.
Yeah. So this is something that happens a lot, especially with open source stuff like Python libraries, like NumPy, for example. Anyone can go in and download the source code of that and make changes. It's just that you can't just automatically push it back into the actual library, but you can make a request and say, like, here, I made this change. You can take a look at it, like whoever's in charge of whatever library that is, and then they can decide whether or not they want to accept that. So this is a very common used thing for open source projects.
So I'm going to now clone this repository. That way I'll have a copy of it on my own computer. So GitHub makes this pretty easy. There's a big green code button, and it'll give you the URL you need to clone this. So there's two ways you can do this. You can do this from Visual Studio, or you can do this in the command line if you use another editor. So you're going to copy this link, and I'll show you how to do it in VS Code first. What was it? Yeah, under the source control, there's a clone repository button. And you can give it the URL, and it'll clone it. So don't do this right now. You're going to make your own fork, and you're going to clone that one. But I'm going to clone the original fork because this one's mine. By the way, if you're on Mac, if you make a developer folder, it actually has a cute little icon of a hammer. That's something like neat I learned a while ago. And it'll do it for you. And you can open it. Of course, if you're a command line fiend like I am, you're free to go into here and use the git clone command. With the URL. And it'll also do it through here. So that's another way to do it if you like doing it that way. But some people like the GUI, and the GUI is a lot easier. I would say get comfortable with the CLI if you can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new little page here, and we're going to have everyone put their favorite animals in a folder, and then we're going to have them all show up in a little list. So it's not going to be anything too special, but just an example to show you how you might collaborate. So I'm going to make a new folder in source. You don't have to know the details about this if you've never used React, but data.
So they're not following along yet, right?
No, I'm going to make the base here, and then they're going to go through this.
That means
No, I'll show them how to clone it soon. Should I use a JSON file? I think I'll use a JSON. Really? I'm gonna use a JS file because you can actually import a JS file. So I'll put dog as my favorite animal. Description, fluffy and cute.
We're actually gonna render this with React or just
No, I'm just making them a JSON file, and then I might put a thing in the repository to show it on the website. What other details should I add?
so
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do soon. But I'm gonna go over how to make a change and commit it. That way, when you guys clone it, you'll already know how to do it, and we can go around and help you. So favorite animal, name and description. What other properties should I add? Would be useful.
um
Can't think of anything else. You kind of just need that. Can add more if needed. True. Type. uh yeah, actually I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll put height and width just for the heck of it. Type mammal. How about that? Height. I don't know. How tall are dogs? Like 3 feet? No, it's even shorter. Like what? 1 foot? The Great Dane? Okay, I'll put like 1 foot. 12 feet. 1 foot. Weight, I don't know, 30 pounds. Okay, so here it is. All right, so when you made a change in VS Code, you'll see it has a U. So this means new file. So it's untracked. You can see this too in the command line. We use the command get status. So if you think about get status, but with git. And it will show that I have an untracked file here, and it paints it nicely in red. In VS Code, you can use the source control to make a lot of these operations easier. So you see here, I can have a plus, and this is going to stage changes. This comes from the lifecycle model I was talking about earlier. Stage changes. Once I stage my change, I can then give it a message and make a commit. I'm going to put data, add my favorite animal. I have to do this because I might get set up weirdly. But you won't have to do this. I actually sign all my Git commits, so they're cryptographically verified to be from me. But this is like, yeah, it's overkill. Yep. And now you see in my source control window, it says I've added my favorite animal, and it tells me from Freeoval. This is my pseudonym. Don't worry about that. I'm going to push this now. So when you press sync changes, it'll automatically push your change to the remote repository. And I have to log in now. Yep. And now on the Git website, if I refresh the page, I'll see that I've added my favorite animal, and it'll show up. It'll show up in the repository. And there it is. Okay, so now we're all going to fork this repository. We're going to make a change, and we're going to do a pull request so you can merge it in. You're going to fork mine, the one I just made. So I want everyone to go to this URL, or not this long one, the base one. You're going to go to this URL, GitHub, ACM SDSU, ACM website new. And I want you to make a fork and clone it to your computer using VS Code. All right. So I'm going to go around and make sure we're all doing that.
I'm going to be doing it up here. So if you guys look at this screen,
Yeah.
you can kind of see what's going on.
You can call it whatever you want. So make sure to make a fork. You don't want to clone the original. Click on the fork button first. Yep. Should I go? You go to the terminal. I get and I run enter that. Yeah. Right there above. The right. It's not working. Yeah, so make sure to make a fork before you make a clone, because if you don't fork it, you won't be able to put your changes on GitHub. So I don't know if I can drag this. Click on the fork button first, and then clone the new one. Yeah, you can leave the name the same because under your name. Yeah. Leave all the things. I wonder if GitHub is gonna like rate limit us or something.
Oh, I see it. I see JP's favorite animals.
Yeah. Wow. I put that into VS Code. Get the link. Then you can just get in the command line. Or just you can put it into the. I found it. Did you download it to your computer? It's on the code line. And you're gonna copy that view. Yeah. And you could put it into VS Code. Oh, it's like
I teach a lot.
When is it the autofill?
The autofill is crazy. Okay. How do you guys just like
What?
like maybe learn how to like what commands or something like that? Like how'd you learn this? Because you don't learn this in Chapter. Just like just YouTube it? No, what do you just type in random crap and that's how it works?
No, you look it up.
Yeah, you YouTube it. No, you don't wherever you watch it. That's what I would do. I watch a video on everything.
Okay. There were like a billion tutorials on videos and then one of the written. I would take the videos. I want to see it written. I just want to like copy paste, but like, okay, all this is that's not explain. It's how to run one through.
Oh, true. That's like Astro 5 for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, just look up like specific like how do I switch to get or how do I make changes to an open source thing. And that's really one thing.
The little thing called Copilot available to there. See, and I use that almost summer. Copilot's the AI. I gave up Copilot.
Well, that's okay. So it's not in your PC. That's in your browser.
You can also get it. Okay, you.
I'm not gonna use it. I think I installed it. They still. Oh wow! I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, you have the updated version. I don't remember this one. You're talking. This is what I'm talking to. Like I literally.
Oh, I thought you kept talking to yourself.
Oh, I talk to myself all the time.
Oh. Do you guys think my room? Okay.
I think it was together.
Oh yeah, I talk to myself. When I do math and physics, I just yeah, and it's a little annoying.
Yeah.
So I just like if my brain is working really like I need to do this, I'm gonna do that.
So I believe it's
No. So what?
You know what's a piece of saying how samples and you say insert your favorite. Yeah. You give me that favorite.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
bonobos. Well, now we need to make a change. Or something. Okay. Bonobo. Orangutans.
So usually public files when you just need to edit those files. When you make a new project, then a lot of so everything is rating, show it the size.
Holy
Great.
So the
Mammal.
I make this things. Family banana.
Yeah.
Put like one astronaut before you.
Was it? Couldn't that also be an atomic?
No, AU is astronaut.
Unbelievably.
Yeah, atomic.
That's lowercase AU.
Yeah, it's also a dot.
Oh.
AU is astronaut, which is also both of them are funny.
I know one, but I find it interesting.
It doesn't really matter where you
Suck.
One plank distance orangutan produce. I think.
and I make sure you.
I'll put an autofill from here.
And I can go to source where I put my file. It's in data. Favorite animals. You can copy that one and make a.
Yes, I don't think so.
You'll be fine.
What are those like?
Yeah. Making you fine.
Co-pilot, yeah.
That's so funny. Keep going. See what
So JS, change it to your name.
What?
It's not making.
What?
Is that like an
Yeah, it's like
That sounds like
Yeah, like that. And then rename it to be.
That sucks.
It's the same one as the.
So I see.
put like favorite car.
Second least favorite joke. What do you call a regular that's gonna
Copy box. And then. Yes.
What do you call a regular that's gonna touch it?
Put like favorite car or something.
Copilot is so.
We're messing with
It's
banana car.
keep going.
All
I'm
tabs.
typing the names of the variables and letting it autofill. The orangutan's favorite car is banana car.
Keep going.
Yeah, nah.
Put like I don't know.
Favorite movie, planet.
Say-
Favorite song.
I would say
No.
Deo, the banana.
Yeah.
Favorite band, monkeys, that's true.
Curious George.
True.
Curious George. The Monkey Club. That's not.
Favorite, curious, your.
That's a classic. I'm glad we would be grateful for that. Scared to play to the apes.
Favorite monkey, Curious George.
Favorite apes, Planet of the Apes. It's full circle now. They're a place for you. They're obviously apes.
Sports swing.
It's another one. You timed it out. Okay, there you go.
30 half that already. 30 storage.
There, yeah.
What?
Please push that to the.
You might have.
Oh. Curious.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, please push that. That's gonna be pitched. Oh, wait, no, yeah, that's a comment. I thought that was your push. That would be so.
Okay, let's see, does it work?
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked.
Oh, so let's see what that. People look at it and say, oh, what'd you add? Just nonsense.
It's like if you give a monkey a typewriter, it's that kind of nonsense.
Oh, God, have you seen that study where it was?
Yeah, we're gonna make a folder file, so we can review our changes. Like the body.
If it would, speaking, it would take a universe, someone wanted to type it.
That's so weird, but it's like infinite monkeys, infinite monkey situation in Flash, why they monkeys. They messed up, they like modified it.
Oh no.
Dude,
That's true. Infinite time, that's unfathomable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm saying, that's why any monkey was in there.
Yeah, but infinite monkeys should figure it out.
Well, it's just.
Monkey should figure it out.
Well, infinitely many monkeys, and as long as it takes to write one. Like it is. If you have infinitely many monkeys that all type on top, eventually, actually infinitely many of those monkeys
Yes, infinitely many.
will write Shakespeare infinitely many times.
Infinitely many of them will type it as fast as possible too. There will be a monkey that writes all of those infinitely faster, well, not infinitely faster, but significantly faster than Shakespeare could ever try. Just as long as it takes them to clear the funds.
I'm doing a forward press. Hold on.
This is what this is what infinity does. It's very wrong. Yeah, I think you could build what
Infinite hotel.
infinite hotel. If he was been down using it to there, I was thinking that it's
It's a very famous experiment of it's like let's say you have
Anything like descriptive, just like say like my feet on my thing.
if someone wants
Something
to
short.
yeah, enjoy the hotel, of course they can't walk down the hallway. But tell everyone.
All right, everyone. I need to talk about something real quick. So I forgot, sometimes Git cannot automatically assume your author name and email. So Git attaches each commit to an author, and an author needs a name and an email. So we need to configure that. That way Git knows who you are. So in VS Code, you probably have your changes. If you weren't able to commit it, I want you to open the terminal, which you can do from the menu bar. And you're going to type the following. See if I can make this bigger. Is this big enough to read, or you think I should make it bigger? Actually, I can do this. I forgot I have Zoom.
like our computer terminal.
Terminal and VS Code is probably the easiest way. You can just go to terminal, new terminal, and it'll open one at the bottom of your screen. Same thing. It's just your menu bar is like here. It's not at the top.
Why is the picture we are?
Remember we were trying to figure out what color your shirt was. We're gonna put it into Microsoft Sand.
So here's how you do it. You do git config -- global, because this is going to be for all your Git repositories. You can change it locally, but it doesn't matter. User.email, and then put your email in quotes. And then you're also going to set your name. I'll set this to JP. You can put your full name or your whatever you want. I'll just put JP. And then once you have both of those, you should be able to make your commit. All right, so we'll go around and do that. I'll leave it up there. Yeah, the things with the dots.
Were you able to commit?
I did it. I think. Should I accept my own merge request?
You can do that. Oh, I guess it's in the same thing.
Because I own the repository. Oh, wait. Am I merging it here?
Yeah,
Oh, because the. Okay.
yeah, you are.
Yeah, I forgot that.
Yeah. It's because it's different.
Yeah, I was like, if it was owned by you, I couldn't do it. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So, sit tight, and we're gonna show and make a pull request.
Yeah, if you already made a pull request? Yeah. Nice. Yeah, you gotta go for us. Yeah, you probably already have access.
Okay.
But don't worry too much about it. You probably merge it yourself. Probably if you're gonna get that for you can merge it yourself. The pros are.
Oh.
All right, we have 2 successful requests so far. Stereo. You added a horse because you're hungry. Is that you? Awesome. What? Why? Is this you? Who? Did you submit one, or what's your GitHub? Danish Yuwala?
Yes, either. So, yeah, now you can make a filter.
How do I invite?
You don't need to invite people.
No, but Thomas wants in.
Okay. All right, everyone. So once you have your change on the website, so I'm actually gonna make another change on a different branch, although we'll go over how to do this. Git switch.
Oh, I sent you an invite a while ago. Yeah. This is in the failed invitations folder. So it's not.
Okay, I don't know why it doesn't.
I did.
I'll make another change. Maybe I don't like 30 £, 15. Yeah, I know. Hellish, isn't it? Okay, so what you're gonna do is in your repository, you'll have an option to pull request. And it's gonna ask you to make a pull request into, make sure you do ACM website new. Yeah. And I want you to give it a title, and I want you to give a description of what the changes you made. You can add images or whatever you want. I don't know, be silly, make it fun. Although I had to go around, so I don't have time for that. So we're gonna go create. Yeah. And then you should have a pull request here. Have you been merging people's pull requests?
Yeah. They're not supposed to do that.
What? Don't merge them yet. I want to
Okay,
go. I want to go over them. Don't merge them yet.
My bad.
I feel like weird to have some people here.
Can I unmerge them?
No, you can't unmerge it. You can revert it actually, but don't do that. Just leave it for right
If
now.
I want to. Okay.
Now, what I want you to do is, once you've made your pull request, I want you to go to another person's pull request, and I want you to comment on their changes, right? So I'm gonna go to this one. And what you can do is, you can either add a comment here. You can also go to the changes and make a comment on the change. See, so someone just made a copy of mine. So I'm gonna put, why is this the same as mine? Right? So apparently this is a copy of mine. So I can do this. And now they get a comment. So you can look at this one and then they can look at the code. So this is pretty useful. So go to some other people's pull requests and make a comment. This is collaboration or collaborating. What, did I comment on yours? Okay.
So go to contribute.
And you can do open pull requests. It's slightly different. I think because mine, like I was the one who made it. So this is like a different.
And we supposed to create a new blood because I already.
No, that's fine. You can just do contribute and do open pull requests. Give it a title and tell us what you think. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah, want to make sure it's on or so you can make it. Go to the GitHub. Where's the code? Yeah, yours. Now refresh it. Let me see how we can make a post. Yeah, so give it a feature there, and you can. It's a description. So if you want to, it makes a request for me to put the code into my repository. Yes. Yes. Yeah. So argue your case. Why should your animal be added? Right? Don't you do what you want to do, right? Want to make sure like this feature is useful. It's great.
It looks like we should make it, so the same person, yeah, I already have so many, I'm already making Hey, man, they just something that always tells us. It's very nice. So. It's a, I think it was told us, I think it's like. They wanted to figure it out there.
Well, the nice thing is.
Just everything. So I would very like so that part will be put on. This is all it is. On the other side. So if you want, you take. You can't have two people doing goodbye. So that's. If you broke the code. Yeah, make sure you get that. You got to code. So you get this message at the bottom. But just don't put. So you can get back in mind. You don't want to publish it.
Oh, and you're gonna need to actually rebuild.
Like rebuild the React app. You know, sure. That's right. You just put your name and then upload it. I can rebuild it and then upload it.
Where the server?
No.
Obviously, it doesn't matter.
Oh, you already made it. Well, if I see your, what do you do when you get the same progress?
It is. It probably is. Yeah. I don't even understand.
We got the floater festival, or are you still trying to get your gamer?
Well, because you have admin first, so. Yeah, you have all of it. ACM. You didn't call it. Yeah.
So it's like. It could have been busy. And then people told us to do something. It's like after the. I wish you. Yeah, that's just something that's working. Let's go back to that. You could take it, but go back to the. Yeah, so. That's nice. Give me the pull request on the original website. I don't think I'm gonna do this. That's right. So good. What's the like voice?
So have we been collaborating? Have we commented on another pull request? Oh wow, 12 of them. Wow. Yeah, so I want to see some comments. So reply to some of them. Someone closed their pull request. You can reopen it, I think. Joyous. Very cool.
Okay. He was like, yes.
I have a couple forms.
Do you help? Oh yeah, that's true. We're kind of nearing the end of the time. All right, everyone. So I'm gonna merge everyone's pull request. So I'm assuming your pull request is fine. So usually what would do is you'd spend a couple of days making sure the code works, right? But we're already nearing the end of time and I want to make sure we get through everything. So yeah, someone said please. So oh, do you have 3 comments? What did you do here? Price? I mean, okay. So I'm just gonna merge this, whatever, right? Okay, so when you're doing this, you can merge everyone's. So sometimes there will be conflicts, but usually there isn't. I won't merge them.
Email domain?
I do have my own email domain.
That is really cool.
I have like 5 domains. And my email is jp@zendejas.org. And I have another one for like Nolovsky as my username. So yeah. But yeah, I won't merge all these.
Yeah, it takes a while. I'll do it later.
All right. So anyways, you'd merge these and they would all appear in the original repo here. So you see here, if I go to my history, I have a bunch of merge pull requests. So yeah, I've ever merged some of these. All right. So from here, you would keep developing. You would have other people look at the code, other people add more features, and they're all merged into one main branch. So that's a little intro to GitHub. We don't have too much time, so Everett has something to say.
2 announcements. 3 announcements. 3? Okay. 4? Maybe. Okay. First of all, next Thursday, the 14th, 7 p.m., we will have karaoke night here alongside a couple other clubs. So the Swartz Astronomical Society, the Society of Statisticians and Actuaries, as well as the Women in Physics Club, and possibly IEEE. They might be involved too. So we're going to be meeting here 7 o'clock next Thursday. I'll make sure to do a reminder next week. There's an RSVP form in the Discord announcement. So yeah.
You said that's 7.
Yes, sir. 7 o'clock p.m. There will be probably Costco pizza and cookies and stuff. So yeah, it'll be a pretty fun time. So, yeah. What?
The survey.
Yeah. He has a survey. It's somewhere in the Discord for a class. So if you want to help him out, fill out that survey. Okay. You have a question?
Yeah. Do you want me to put the link on? Oh, yeah, that's a good look. By the way, so Git gets a lot more complicated from here on, right? But these are the basics, right? So if you want to learn more about how to use Git, you should probably learn how to use branches. So branches are a nice way to organize your code. That way you have your own code in another branch. I won't go over the details, but I do have a little list of command cheat sheets. So here's a few of them. This is to use branches if you want to look at that.
You can take a picture of this or whatever, so you can reference it later.
You got to feel free.
Yes, you can do that. Oh, one more. Okay, so you're right. 4 announcements. I have one more thing, and then Jake's gonna say one thing. The other thing is T-shirts. We have an order form also in the announcements right next to the karaoke form. So if you're interested in the T-shirt, it's probably about $12. We want to probably get those ordered as soon as possible. So yeah, please fill that out today if you can, because we're gonna order them later this week. So yeah, that'll be your last chance. T-shirts. If you guys want, we have pictures of the design actually. If you want to take a look at that.
So, go back to your,
So this is the front of the shirt. There is a typo on it, but we fixed that, so don't worry. There will not be a typo on the shirt. We know how to spell computing. You did what? Just a limited edition with the type. That'd be cool. And at the back is a lot more fancy. It's got this whole thing.
I want that shirt that I give my parents so they can make computing machinery.
Your parents make cheese? Oh, computing machine, because they're civil engineers. I get it.
I'm gonna pull up the slides on here.
Yes,
I have government mandated slides.
yeah, the College of Science and Student Council is mandated to provide a very brief presentation.
Very brief. JP, can I touch your stuff so I can pull up the slides?
Representative between College of Science and Student Council and Associated Students. He's also our executive vice president. So he's everything.
Whoa, thank you. Shout out to Kurt for starting that.
What did you need to pull up?
I just sent it to your Discord.
Oh, okay, I'm seeing.
It's just a P.
I want to be careful with my Discord because I have a
I
lot of
just need it
stuff
because there's a QR code. I'm being recorded now.
now being recorded. Right. Oh, not this one. Wrong
I
thing.
like that. Thank you. I'm really channeling my inner Vadim.
CSSC walk around slides.
It's just nonsense.
How do I present it?
Just present nonsense.
Oh. Oh, nice.
Did you do it?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the go? What's the go button? Okay. Okay, cool. What's up, guys? My name is Jake. I'm from the College of Science and Student Council. We represent you guys.
Represents
I represent you guys. Historically, yeah, right. Thank you. Historically, the College of Sciences has been only really represented in computer science and mathematics has been underrepresented. That's changed recently because of me and another member. Anyway, we have a thing we're doing. This applies to all the computer science majors in here. Anyone that's taken a lab. Also, yeah, this is what we do. Yay, woo. Also more of what we do. Yay, this is super cool. So there's been uprising concerns regarding discrepancies between TAs in different College of Sciences labs. So some labs are significantly easier than other labs, depending on who you get for your TA. This is more applicable for other majors, but it is visible in some CS classes,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
150 and 160.
You have to take physics as well.
Physics as well, that's a big one.
Does anyone notice that with their physics classes, if you're taking out TAs, it's either really hard or really easy?
So we're trying to change that from kind of like from a high level. So this is the first step. This is a survey. So we're gonna do a survey, then we're going to try to get a resolution going based on the survey data, and however many applicants we can get or how many people that submit, that makes our case a lot stronger and we can hopefully really see some change. And it'll be overseen by the dean. So, but step one is the survey, which is right here. Can you guys scan this QR code? If you've ever taken a lab at SDSU, your opinion is valid here. And we would love to see as many respondents as possible because, yeah, what's up? Yeah, actually, we can put it in the Discord.
I think they also sent out an email to the whole College of Sciences. You might have seen this already.
Oh my God, where's JP? This is his thing. Help me.
Yeah, Audie's also.
Hey, it's Audie. He's also a College of Sciences representative. He has my exact job as well.
Twinsies.
Twinsies.
So these occasionally stand in recognition. No, what do you mean?
You post this thing to the Discord. I don't know how to do it on a Mac. I'm completely unbelievably useless. You post this thing, just this thing to the Discord.
On my behalf.
Copy it, paste it, do whatever.
How do you take it?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, you're leaking our DMs, dude. Oh my
I
God,
can't make it DMs.
dude, stop leaking my DMs.
To put announcements?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I said this. You can't just. Okay. Public announcement. JP has his Discord on light mode. Everyone.
Alright, thank you.
Yeah, if you guys didn't scan the QR code, it is now in the Discord, so you can scan it at your earliest convenience. But yeah, any questions at all? Anything at all?
My eyes are more powerful than yours. Just saying.
God, you're training your eyes.
I'm training my
They're
eyes.
blue light. Blue light training. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Please sign or fill that out whenever you can. That's JP. This is Juan Pablo. That's Juan Pablo.
Are you done with? Oh, you should.
Yeah, right?
Let me get.
That's Juan Pablo. That's gonna keep being more Juan Pablos. Question.
I'm Juan
how
Pablo
many-
too.
How many Shakespearean tragedies can you write with infinite Juan Pablos?
2.
2.
It's the limit. It's the limit, actually.
Oh my God.
Oh, that is so bright.
How do I turn it off?